Cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today's video is going to be on Wicked, who was part of the Strength Cartel. Last night, I watched a new video on the channel John Bravo Films. Go ahead and check out that channel. I'll put a link. It'll probably be up here. I think it's going to be on this side. I'll put a link to that video. Go ahead and check that out. In the video, it talks about a lot of stuff, or it talks about stuff that I had been made aware of a few weeks ago. And if you remember, I did say that, you know, there was some stuff that there was some footage of what happened in the backyard and stuff. So a lot of what he talks about, I was made aware of. I just didn't feel like the video that he put out, I didn't want to put that video out just because I felt like I'm not trying to aid the authorities, right? So I'll let you go ahead and watch his video and get from it, whatever you get from it. I kind of want to focus on a different part of the video, right? So if you go and watch that video, actually you could pause this video, go over there and watch that video and come back. When you've seen videos of Wicked talking, I've seen multiple videos of him talking, and every time I see someone who is very appreciative of the life that he has, someone who doesn't take life, freedom, blessings for granted. Seemed like he was a great dude in those videos, right? And I know that that is who his family knows. David, not Wicked. They don't care about the whole Wicked thing and the Strength Cartel thing. They care about the person that's in that video and those videos. And that's the person who they lost. They didn't lose Wicked. They lost David, right? Me being a convicted murderer, I've had a long time to think about the impact of my decisions when I chose to take a life. And I don't talk about it a lot, but I think about my victim's son, his wife, his sisters, and his brother often. I don't talk about it, but I think about them. I have an idea of the damage that I caused them, but I have no clue if I'm being real, I have no clue what the actual damage was and is and will always be for my actions. When I watched the video, you know, it says, and I had been told this. I had been told this several weeks back, that in the footage you were going to see the brother go out to the backyard and you see Wicked put his hands up and then be shot. So if you go over to the video, you'll hear about all that. So whatever the discussion was, Wicked could have went for the gun. There's a lot of aggressive things he could have tried to do, but putting his hands up, he was probably like, what's going on here? I was like, we're family, eh? Like, what's that all about? And he was shot. And then he was left in the backyard. Allegedly, he was left in the backyard in pain, confused, bleeding, and dying. He was left back there, and who knows what was happening, why he was left alone. I don't know. And then somehow he winds up in a car. I don't know who's in the car with him. And he's driven to a hospital and kicked out in the parking lot. He's not taken inside by someone who's worried, someone who cares and loves for him. He's just thrown outside. I don't know how long he was outside, but I know he was dying. Whoever took him knows he was dying. That is, even when I was at my worst, I never agreed, and I still don't. If you're in that world and somebody has a killing coming, in that world, they're a participant in that life, and in that world, they have it coming because whoever decides they have it coming, then you do it fast. I don't believe in torture. I don't believe in making someone suffer. I believe murder is evil enough. Suffering added to a murder, that's completely the devil's work. I'm sure that David was probably unconscious when he was in that parking lot, probably in the car ride. If he wasn't, if he was in and out, I'm sure all he was thinking is, how the fuck did this happen? He was in an argument or had been around that evening someone who he had loved. I don't know what their situation was at the end. At least I don't know his side. It's kind of obvious what her feelings must have been like. Again, I'm not trying to solve a case. This case is what it is. I'm going off the John Bravo film, his John Bravo video. If you love someone, you don't want to see them suffer. If you care about someone, shit, I wouldn't even let a stranger die like that. I'm not that person. I could be if I allowed the old me to win. The old me sits on my shoulder. And the old me whispers in my ear a lot. One of the programs that helped me change my ways in prison was called Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous. And in there, in one of their teachings, many teachings, they talk about there is no cure for what we have. Our lifestyle addiction, my lifestyle addiction, my former lifestyle, there's no cure for it. It's only in remission. I have to do the work. I have to constantly remind myself. That's my old way of life was a cancer. And I have to make sure I do the chemo for it, which is acknowledging my responsibility for my choices every day, regardless of how big or how small. So that's one of the things. I'm going to get off in the woods and the weeds with that, but the old me always whispers, and I got to check it, right? So the old me could kill or let somebody die and not have any concerns. It was none of my business. But this is cold-blooded. This, I don't understand. There's not one of my exes that I have ill will towards, bad feelings towards. I believe that if you've loved someone, that love will still be there, even though if you're not in love with that person, there's always that care for that person. How do you turn around and hurt that person? Murder is always senseless. Murder, when there are people that were family or loved ones involved, is completely and utterly senseless. It's mind-boggling. You can't figure it out. Having gone through the court system, I know that there's going to be things that come out in this case. Some will be true, some will be false, and it'll be falsehoods and truths created by both sides, the state as well as the defense. But the reality is, wicked David was taken from this world probably for something extremely frivolous. Something that could have been overlooked and forgotten about in 6 months received a permanent result. I know David's family are never going to heal. But at least, you know, I hopefully they can find comfort in those videos and know that when he was wicked, he went to prison and he did whatever he did to get there, and he came out David. And so when he did die, unfortunately, he was taken from this earth. He had peace in his heart and he had love in his heart. So hopefully there's at least comfort in that. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out of here.